I'm gonna piss Ryan off. I was considering this pick already, but then Ryan behaved the way he did. I'm gonna take Caden Grenier.
Your very existence pisses me off, Josh.
Fly ball left field. Nate McLouth is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Gomes. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Putting around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
What's going on, my friends? It's episode 38 of the Talking Birdie podcast. We're back after a unscheduled random hiatus. We will explain in a minute. Josh and Brad, my friends, it's good to be back. How you guys doing?
Very nice to be back behind the mic talking to you boys. This is like I don't see you unless we're doing this, so it's just nice to be back here after 2.5 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
It's so long of a period of time that I visited a house in Pittsburgh. I put an offer in on the house in Pittsburgh, and then I got denied the offer on the house in Pittsburgh all in the span of time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what I did in the time off. Went up north in Michigan. That was a nice time. And yeah. How you doing, Brian?
Plot twist. The house was Big Ben's. He had it on the market. He decided not to sell. He's going back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what happened with your housing situation right there.
Yeah, I'm looking in his price range.
If Josh can afford Big Ben's house, then
Yep.
why don't we all live together right now and have
Actually
like a
did
podcast
learn-
studio in the basement?
I did learn what neighborhood all like the Steelers and Pirates players go live in. That was something, I guess. I didn't go through it yet, but I know where it is.
Did they really all have like a communal neighborhood that they all live in?
Like, not by definition, but like there's like these 2 neighborhoods that are really small right next to each other, and all the pro players pretty much go live up there.
They're actually all roommates too, just like it's like bachelor pads. They don't have families or anything. They just kind of bro out there.
What neighborhood is it?
There's a town or a little neighborhood called Wexford up there, and
Okay.
there's one more that's like directly next to it. It's either McCandless or Ross Township or something like that. But yeah, they're on the north side. Probably about 20 minutes from the city.
Like Cranberry area?
No, that's a little too
Cranberry
far
Township.
west. That's a little too far northwest. Cranberry's nice though.
It is. It is. They built the Penn's practice facility there.
Yes, I drove past it.
Yep. I skated there one time.
Really?
Yeah, we went up for a Caps Pens game, and they had like a public skate. So we went over there, and I wore my Ovechkin jersey just to be super annoying.
I'm sure. But how you doing, buddy? 2.5 weeks.
I'm good, but like nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Just the same old grind, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? I played my first ever round of golf last week.
I know. I want to hear more because we had a little exchange. Me, you, and I forget his name. I apologize. The guy from Tampa.
It's Devin.
Devin.
My buddy
yes.
Devin. Yeah. So my boss, big time golfer, and he offered to take us. He paid for everybody to, go play a round of golf, and we got a paid day off as well.
Sick.
This is over the Memorial Day weekend. It was originally supposed to be Friday, and then we'd be off on Monday too, but the weather was a complete wash pretty much for that Friday, so he moved our tee times to Tuesday. And I gotta say, man, I had a blast. It was so much fun. In a lot of ways, it went even worse than I expected it to go, which is bad because my expectations were like under the floor.
Oh my god, dude! I know that feeling.
It's hard, man.
It's so
So
fucking
hard.
It is hard. I had a couple bright moments though. Brad, do you ever actually play? I know you work at a course.
Twice
but
a year.
You
Twice
do?
a year.
Okay.
Well, maybe 3 times. I have to play twice a year. Sometimes I'll play a third when I'm like getting somebody else on the course for free.
Gotcha.
I just played a couple weeks ago because Turf Valley, the course that I work at, the same owner owns Hayfield. So there's always a tournament between us and Hayfield. It's called the Cutter Cup. And I'm always paired in the shitty group for like the two shittiest Turf Valley golfers versus the two shittiest Hayfields golfers. But the two shittiest Hayfields golfers this year, we were competitive with them last year. The ones we were matched up against playing fucking golf tournaments, and they just absolutely whooped our ass at match play. Out of 18 holes, we won 2, tied 5, and lost 11. So that was good times. I parred once on a par 4, and that was pretty much the only positive thing I had to talk about.
That's nice.
Ryan,
So-
your description of the first time sounds exactly like my description of the first time. It's so hard, but you have those couple little bright moments and you're like, I should try this again.
So-
and this was kind of fun.
There was
about 10 times around, I have shots that I'm like really happy with, and I'm like, wow, I see a lot of golfers out here that honestly probably can't do that. And then the rest of the shots are just absolute dog shit.
You'll like
I have
four
no
putt.
idea where they're going. Half the time the divot flies farther than the ball. When I connect, it's great, but that's about a 10% chance that I'm actually gonna connect. Or I wanted to.
So there was 8 of us. We had 2 tee times, and we split into two teams of 4. Basically, 4 took the 1 tee time, the other 4 played just behind them, and we switched teams up every 6 holes, so like everybody got to play with everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, we very loosely kept score. We played best ball the whole time. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Josh. Okay.
Scramble, basically.
Yeah, it's just everybody hits. Whoever hits the best ball,
Yeah.
everybody plays from that ball, and then you just do that
That's
for the
how it
course
is.
of the hole.
That's how
So
it
you-
is when I play too.
So you have like a collective score instead of an individual score. You have a collective score as a team. So
It
that
makes
way,
it- it
when you
makes
have
it-
idiots like me out there, it doesn't affect anybody or anything when I'm launching balls into the woods.
I've never played best ball because the buddy I usually go golfing with, like, he's not like strict to the rules. Like if I asked him if we wanted to play best ball, yes, but we're both so competitive that we want to just play
Beat each
our
other.
shitty hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
that's
mean,
fun.
you can't play best ball with two. I mean, I guess you could play best ball with 2 guys and compete against yourselves, but that's really like if you're going against other groups of people. So
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, my 2 bright spots were both with the short game. Years upon years of playing putt golf at the beach really came through for me because I hit I think they said it was like a 16-yard putt.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was like to save. I think that birdied the hole for the team.
that's pretty
Oh,
good.
nice.
Everybody lost their shit because like it was like I'm the guy that's never played before, so everyone was like, ah.
What
It was-
course did you play at?
So we played on at Greystone.
Okay.
This is up in Whitehall, northern Baltimore County.
Whitehall.
Yeah,
I don't even know where that is, dude.
it's up 83.
Okay.
I don't know where it is
I
either.
know White Marsh and I know Perry Hall. I didn't know there was a Whitehall. I
There
guess that's
is.
somewhere in between.
There is a Whitehall. Yeah, it's up 83. It's about, I don't know, 10, 15 miles from the PA line, something like that.
Gotcha.
And then I hit a nice putt at the very end on hole 18 to save par for our team after all 3 of the other guys I was with missed the putt. But yeah, like you were saying, Brad, I have too much baseball in my swing, so I chop instead of swing like you're supposed to, and I just beat my freaking club into the ground. I don't think I hit one off the tee that was remotely like acceptable.
Okay.
Almost everyone I hit, I just like topped the ball and it like rolled 5 feet, and then but like it didn't matter because everybody else was just teeing off, and I had a couple nice hits with the irons on the fairway that I impressed myself with, but I mean, it didn't really matter, dude. It was so much fun. We finished the front nine, and my boss was just like, "All right, everybody in the clubhouse, we're getting drinks." And he went up to the bar. He just like slapped his credit card down and was just like, "Whatever y'all want." So we just like loaded up on beers, and we're just like putting them like anywhere we could put them in the golf carts. So we were just drinking the whole back nine.
That's awesome. On the baseball point, though, did you ever like drive, right off the tee box and swing one-handed, like let go with one hand like a baseball swing? Okay, cool.
Multiple times.
Glad I wasn't the only one.
Multiple times. Yeah, I had
I
like
could
the
not work that
Sammy
one out.
Sosa finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't quite iron that one out right away. Even last time I played, I still did it.
Yep. Maybe we should. Speaking of baseball, we should talk about baseball.
We should talk about why we weren't talking about baseball.
Yes. So, let's see. When did it start? I guess it started
May 19th, I think,
May
was our
19th.
last episode.
Yeah, and then Brad was not available, so Josh and I were just like, "All right, well,
we mixed up the dates because I said I wouldn't be here for May 26th, I think, and Brad said the week before that, but I read that as May 26th, so I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to make 2 episodes and then release that, like schedule the release, and we'll be fine. We'll have an episode for every week," and that didn't happen.
No, and then the day Brad wasn't available, Josh and I were like, "No problem. We'll just go 2 of us. It'll be fine. It'll be perfect." I texted you asking if you wanted to hop on around 8:15. You said that sounds good. I immediately fell asleep on the couch.
This is at like what, 7:15 probably?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I woke up at like 9:30 to you being like, "Oh shit, I thought you said 8:45." And it was just a total disaster. And we just both accepted the fact that no episode was being recorded.
No, wasn't happening. Like, I don't know how that happens. I do it all the time too with like my other buddies, their text on hangout times. I read the 1 as a 4 sometimes. It's not like you mishear somebody. The number's right there, but I still read it wrong.
Josh, I think they call that dyslexia.
I don't have that though. I have Alzheimer's, early onset. It's true.
It's way too early for that.
It's not true, but I would, in like high school, I would accidentally like throw things away and then like ask people where that was. Like I'll throw my headphones away on accident and like I'll ask somebody, "Hey, have you seen my headphones?" And like I wasn't joking. I just literally didn't know.
Oh, I do shit like that all the time.
Josh actually has dementia. Holy shit.
It's early onset dementia. It's
I do stupid shit like that all the time. That's like my biggest weakness.
So me and Brad will be in the home together.
It's funny you guys say it because I just realized I do shit like that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to the same home. I get it.
I was at work last week and they were having me mount this temperature sensor. And the temperature sensor comes with all this other bullshit. The only thing I needed though was the 2 screws that go to hold the cover on. It's like an outlet cover. It's like that same type of thing. So I'm like going through all this shit in like the box, and I've got all this trash in my one hand, and I've got the little packet of screws in my one hand. And instead of throwing away the thing of trash, I just like yeeted the screws over my shoulder.
Don't need
and I was
these.
like, this is a handful of trash. I had to go walk around this whole area and find where that little packet of screws landed.
So we'll all be together. We'll find a home. We'll watch like Ramon Urias highlights in like 2070 or something.
Hopefully my wife doesn't forget about me.
Yes.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean it all doesn't matter now, but basically we're going to be, at least temporarily, we're going to be coming out with these episodes on Monday. Josh's schedule has changed up a little bit. He will be regularly unavailable on Thursday. So Monday works best. Monday works for everybody. So we're just going to be, at least until further notice, episodes will be coming out Monday night / Tuesday morning.
And for clarity, it's an ultimate Frisbee league. It's the only night of the week that I had something going on. And of course it was Thursday night. That should be over late July, but
I wasn't saying anything because I didn't know if you wanted to admit to all of our listeners that you're a giant dork.
No, I'm a huge dork. Ultimate Frisbee forever. But
we were eating dinner and my wife was like, "Why are you guys doing the episode on Monday?" And I was like, "Because Josh is busy on Thursdays now." And she was like, "What could be so important?"
True.
And I was like, I think he plays ultimate frisbee, and she was just like, nerd.
Well, thank you, Terry.
Yep. It's cool. Actually, ultimate looks super fun. I would love to play it sometime.
It's so fun, but
Yeah.
like, think of how much running is in soccer.
Yeah, it's even
Turn
more.
all of that into sprinting.
Yeah.
For like 90 minutes.
Well, it's another way of getting cardio without having to
Yes,
go on a run. So
exactly. It's a great workout, but when I'm like 25, maybe even 30, I guess, that I can't do that anymore because I can't. I know the older guys that play move so efficiently that they don't get tired. Like they take the perfect steps, the perfect routes, and they stop running after that. I have to sprint everywhere like a dummy because I've only played for like 2 years, like competitively. So I don't know where I'm supposed to go exactly. So I get really tired really quickly, and that's not going to last for very long.
Nope.
no,
So
I can say from experience, it goes away.
I know it's been a little bit, guys, but like something major happened since our last episode regarding the O's, and I just can't remember what it is.
I know what you're referring to.
John Rhodes got injured.
Could you please refresh my memory, Brad? I would really appreciate it.
Anthony Bemboom got DFA'd.
That's right.
yes.
That's right. Of course. Of
Outrighted
course.
to Norfolk.
Well, thank
Jahmai
God
Jones got unreleased waivers.
Thank
Or
God
unclaimed waivers.
Ben Boom is still in the organization. I was really worried about losing him on waivers, man.
We still got the Bemby.
I'm so
Oh,
glad he's
Bambi.
still here.
He's crushing it in Norfolk too.
Of course he is.
I don't think that's actually true.
I saw you hit a homer the other night. Let me verify, but Ryan,
I thought he
talk to us
started-
about what's really going on.
Obviously, what we're referring to is the long-awaited debut of Adley Rutschman. It was a great time
That happened too.
that Saturday.
Ben Boom
Brad
is
and I
not killing it.
Brad and I were fortunate enough to be able to go. We didn't go together, but we were both there.
Yeah.
Brad, what were your thoughts on the day and the event?
Well, the atmosphere was good. It kind of reminded me of going to Matt Wieder's debut back in 2009, I guess it was. The fans really got into it every time he came up. There was a standing ovation, like it was Game 7 of the World Series. We got to see him get his first big league hit, being a triple the opposite way. I think he was batting right-handed that at
No,
bat.
he pulled it down the
Pulled,
right
okay.
field.
He just
was
threw the
batting
bat
up.
at it.
Yeah.
Went to the corner. So that was pretty cool. The crowd stood up, cheered. It was a cool moment to be a part of. They gave away souvenir ticket stubs. The game itself was pretty fucking lame because it was never close, and it was pretty much over after like the second or third inning.
Yeah.
And
We got a Rosa Rained.
It's 6-1 or 6-2 final.
6-1.
6-1.
6-1. They did scratch a run across on like a ground out or something, but yeah.
So it was. I'm glad I went, just to be a part of that experience. Although, like I said, the game itself was one of the more boring games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the game itself was hot dog shit.
Yeah.
It was a fun time though. Like you said, I'm also really glad I was able to go. I wasn't able to go to Manny's debut. So
Yeah, I went to that one too. That game was also pretty similar. We got our ass whooped by Kansas City that game, as I recall. But then Manny's second game, he hit 2 bombs.
Yep.
No.
Yes, he did.
You're still
That team-
awaiting the Adley first bomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll come.
Yeah. Yeah.
That moment when he looked around the stadium before they started pitching, that was really cool.
very cool.
We'll watch that one for years.
I didn't actually see that because of where I was. So I had to see that in the video afterward. That was very cool.
I saw in the video too, because I wasn't like explicitly watching him when he was standing at home plate, because when you're on, I guess they showed it on TV as he did it. I assume that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, at your game, when you're at the game and players are going out for pregame warmups, your eyes aren't necessarily fixated on him every single second. So
yeah.
Someone did reply to one of my tweets about his debut, and they showed me their video from behind home plate of him looking around. It was was really cool to see it from the different angle too. Like it felt genuine.
Yeah.
Someone suggested he was like looking at the Hall of Fame numbers for an extra split second. Well, I don't know if that's true. That's still like a cool aspect.
He did look out that way. I don't know if he actually was looking at it because of that, but he did look out that way.
Right.
It was really cool, man. I was really happy to be able to go. I was on my computer early in the morning, just doing a sim flight, and I took a really cool screenshot.
Calls me a dork.
Huh?
Calls me a dork for Frisbee.
Yeah. I also never said I wasn't. So
True.
and I took a really cool screenshot and I wanted to send it to the Oriole Airways chat with my buddies. And instead of like uploading it to my phone, I just opened Twitter on my PC. And the very first thing was like Rock tweeting that he was coming up. And like I read it again, made sure that the blue check next to Rock's name was real. And I was like, oh shit. And I just immediately took out my phone and bought a ticket.
Nice.
Because
I'm sad you had to see it through Rock for the first time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Yep, it was a fun day. There's a lot of jerseys already, which is kind of cool.
I mean, we saw that at opening day too. Like even the game I went to last year with you guys, and they're out there, and they're just going to keep multiplying.
I already bought
I
one.
wore my signed Adley jersey to the game, so
Sick.
I was one of those jerseys.
There's some good ones and some not so good ones. I saw one guy did like the duct tape with the letter on the Sharpie. That was fun.
I went on I was at the game on Sunday and a lot of Cleveland fans there. It was weird. But
Rays Orioles game? Oh, on Sunday.
Keep up, Josh.
I'm listening.
Keep up. And the one guy's shirt made me laugh because it was like it just had the Indians script that they wore on their like home jerseys.
Yeah. And
he put masking tape over the IN and then just wrote GUAR. So it said Guardians.
Nice.
I was like, that's pretty clever, man. It's good. I was surprised at how many people actually had the new merchandise for.
There's a lot of them here. Yeah,
for a fan base that was so vehemently against the name change. A lot of them have the new merch.
Yeah, I see quite a few of them. I mean, I live in the Cleveland area. I'll see a lot of these people all the time. But yeah, I mean, there's still a large population with the Indians gear, but you see way more than you'd expect of the Guardian stuff. That's some pretty clean looking gear too. Like they did a good job with the rebrand. We never really talked about it on this show because it's not really Orioles related, but they did do a nice job. It's very similar, but I guess that's kind of the point.
They kept it very similar, which I appreciate. They kept the same numbers. They use the same font. The C is almost identical.
I'll see some of the C's like as bumper stickers, and if I'm not close up to it, I like can't even identify which one it is, and that's probably by design.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty decent rebrand.
I'm sure they'll change it more.
My dad thought it was dumb, but he's a boomer, so whatever. So yeah, Adley, he's here. It's fun. He's been pretty disappointing so far.
7 for 51.
Like a mofo. He lost me some money over the last couple of weeks on prop bets, betting him getting RBIs in games. Hasn't gone particularly well for him.
He does not have an RBI yet.
He does not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, but we're seeing the same thing with him that we saw with Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez. I mean, Spencer Torkelson still isn't really hitting.
He's been really bad.
Yeah. So, like, I'm fine, but there's already the idiots that are saying he's overmatched and he needs to go back. We're all in agreement that sending him back to AAA does absolutely nothing, right?
Fuck no, dude.
In fact, it actually probably is detrimental to him, I would say.
Yeah.
For a guy that you regard as your top prospect, that something like that would be like you said, detrimental to probably his views of the organization. Probably it's not good for his development. It'd be a bad move.
200 all year, I'd be disappointed, but I still wouldn't want to send him to AAA.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Robinson Chirinos is the starting catcher instead of him. So, I mean, you're not really sacrificing much performance for the position, even if you send him down. Or, keep him up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we
I
talked
tried
about
to-
this before the show. There's not too many idiots saying like, "Yeah, we should probably send him down," or "He's a bust" and stuff like that. Not too many, less than I would expect, but still, the few that are saying, it.
Yeah.
please stop. Embarrassing.
Do you have any thoughts, Brad?
I mean, I'm pretty much on the same page there. I kind of figured there would be more people bitching about it, but it seems like the ones that are the ones that never wanted him to get called up in the first place, saying, "Oh, dude, we're not supposed to win this year. Just leave him down until next year." Like nobody said we're supposed to fucking contend for the playoffs this year. That's not the point. The point is he's 24 years old. He absolutely earned his shot. He was the first overall pick out of college in fucking 2019. He's done everything that's been asked of him. Absolutely earned a spot. You can't just keep holding a guy down like that. It's not about, oh, call up Adley, will win the World Series. No, I mean, it probably help us play a little bit more exciting baseball over the course of the year. But it's at a certain point, it's also about doing what's best for your player.
Right. And we hear talks they may be working on some sort of extension that's not like official information or anything like that. But I mean, a demotion to AAA would not bode well for that.
They're not going to. I
No,
mean,
of
it's not
course
going to happen. So I'm just saying there's
Right.
the mere thought of it is silly.
It is weird how common it is for like big time prospects to come up and struggle off the bat, but then every now and then you'll see guys come up and start out on fire. Like I remember when Trey came up, he was a good prospect, but he wasn't considered like anything on an Adley's level. Pretty sure he homered in like 5 straight games. I think the Reds had this guy a couple years ago named Aristides Aquino.
Yep.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what happens with those players? The
They
ones
tail
that just
off. Tail off.
they fall off the face of the earth.
They never get better.
Oh,
Yep.
who was the guy on the White Sox? Was it last year or 2 years ago? I can't even remember his name. He hit bombs in like 7 or 8 straight games in April.
Yermin Mercedes.
Yermin
Oh,
Mercedes.
right, yeah.
He used to be in the Orioles organization. That's right. And
Yeah.
he's not even in the big leagues anymore.
No.
How many know? He like retired, like fake retired like twice.
Yeah,
too,
he came
actually.
back like a day later.
Yeah, he just
I mean,
showed up the
He
next day.
showed up at the
It's-
ballpark.
It's a much less severe example, but like Akil Baddoo,
He got demoted too, yeah.
like he crushed it, and then
It's just weird. I don't know. I mean, baseball's a weird sport.
Tigers are starting Daz Cameron over Akil.
I mean, Mountcastle was a decent prospect. He came up and he pretty much tore it up from the beginning.
Yeah, he was
So,
solid.
It's I'd say
so-
it's more than solid when he started out. I feel like the dude was batting like 350 after like 2 or 3 weeks.
I believe he had like 325 average. His OPS plus is like in the 140s or something crazy like that.
he batted over 300 for the rest of that year that he debuted.
Yeah, 2020 was a good Mountcastle. He
Mhm.
kept it going in 2021. I actually have an interesting factoid on Adley. So no home runs yet, like we said, but there are 2 ballparks where he actually would have 1 home run
Mhm.
if it was hit
Yankee
there.
Stadium. The
No.
fly out to right field, I'm guessing.
Nope, not Yankee Stadium. It is the double to right center field. It's Houston and Cincinnati would have had a home.
Because I remember in the extra inning game
Wait.
against the Rays, he flew out to like.
He flew out to the track. It would have been a walk-off home run if it
Oh,
went
maybe
out.
that's
think
the one.
I
that
think,
is.
although honestly, I think the wind was blowing out that way because he hit it high. It didn't look like he hit it particularly well, but it kept carrying and it was caught like right in front of the.
Yeah,
Right
I
in
assume
front of
it's
the-
that one then.
Yep. It's fine. It'll come. He's making solid contact. He's working. That's the thing that makes me mad when people say he's overmatched. You have to send him back. If you think he's overmatched, you're simply not watching him play.
Right. I mean, dude's at bats are some of the longest at bats that this team will put up.
He's
against
seeing
any
almost
pitcher.
6 pitches per at bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like if you were to do a percentile for that, he'd be like in the high 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the highest since his debut. I think he's seen the most pitches per at bat in the major leagues.
Yep.
Oh,
That's-
even though we moved on from this, I wanted to throw another rookie who randomly started out hot.
Go ahead.
Dog shit.
Go ahead.
Joey. Joey.
Dude,
Rickard.
I was sitting right behind home plate when he hit his first career home run.
Yep.
That
And,
was fun.
Camden Yards was going crazy for him.
Yeah, I don't understand how everyone seemingly fell in love with Joey Rickard.
Now he's retired.
Yeah, well, because he's garbage.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
But it was pretty weird how he just. I mean, did he hit that well in spring training?
I can find that maybe.
Oh, this is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum we were talking about, but like, dude, Jared Kelnick has been so bad. They sent him back to Tacoma.
Yeah, he was like, his defense was really good this year, but he couldn't like hit the broadside of a barn. He
didn't
awful.
hit last year either.
Well, he did in September, but that was about it. He was -2 WAR player.
He hit. I mean, his average was under 200 for all of last year. I think he was hitting like 140 something this year. I mean,
that's kind of sad to see. I mean, as an Orioles fan, I obviously doesn't really make a difference to me, but as a fan of the game, you'd like to see the top prospects turn out.
Yeah, I like Kelnick.
It gets you more excited when you have
for sure
top guys like that.
But I mean, I think if they didn't have guys taking like guys ready to take that spot, I think he'd still be there working it out. But Kyle Lewis came back.
Yep.
Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker. They acquired Jesse Winker and they promoted J-Rod. So there was
no playing time for him.
There's nowhere for Kelnick to play. So like, yeah, if you're not going to hit and keep yourself in the lineup, well, there's these other guys that are going to go in. So I want to say it's probably less. His demotion was probably less about his performance and more just the fact that like they just had to make room for somebody else.
I'll just make that Orioles related. That seems kind of like why Kyle Stowers remains in AAA because there's not actually any room for him.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later, I believe. Or is that the next topic?
Okay. All right. Well, if we're getting into that, then we
let's launch ourselves right into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I have Joey Rickard's 2018 spring training stats.
Oh, here we go.
Under a 500 OPS, so not the hot guy we were thinking.
Yeah, he just came out.
Well, he was pretty hot.
All right.
Yep. Zing. He lit the world on fire for like 2 weeks, though. In all seriousness.
Yep.
And then that pretty much earned him a big league roster spot for the next couple of years.
I'm gonna address this while I'm thinking about it. Brad's camera isn't working, so he's not on the video.
Yeah, I was going to address that.
Never said it.
Kind of skip past that to past Brad, how you doing, to Ryan, how you doing? So because I was just conversing with your situation, I guess. But yeah, I opened up my laptop screen the other day, and for some reason, it's all fucked up. I don't know if I just dropped it on the floor too hard or something, but I just can't see it. Which really sucks because I'm taking a class right now too. And I use it for this, so it's really inconvenient. I need to go get myself a new laptop, but for tonight, I have this desktop computer downstairs in the office at work that I'm using.
Back to the roots. That's what you recorded on, or what you recorded our very first episode on.
No, I recorded in the office, but I recorded on my phone.
Okay,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we couldn't get it to work, so you just use your phone. Ugh, we've come a long way.
Oh yeah. We're on Zoom now.
We are. We're on the paid version of Zoom now.
We're on the paid version of Zoom because we couldn't do this episode or this show if we didn't.
Yep.
We talk way too long, and that's okay.
Yep. You guys remember how we used to manufacture breaks just so that we could reset the Zoom timer so they wouldn't cut us off after 45 minutes?
Yeah, I would like try to cut it perfectly so the conversation like still flowed. And, like it worked a couple times, but there was a couple other times where it was like Ryan just said like, and we'll take a break and we're back.
Yeah. Well, I would lead into it. I'd be like, we're gonna go get a drink, we're gonna go have a piss and all that stuff. We'll be right back, and then we would come back.
There was just such a variance between what we would do one episode and then the next.
This is so much better this way, just being able to go straight through.
Oh yeah,
so much better. So yeah, one of you guys should take us into our next bullet point here.
All right, I'll take this. So the topic we wrote down here was the Cedric Mullins discussion. Ryan,
what do you?
Oh, I am retarded.
You are dyslexic. Jesus Christ!
We were just talking about the outfield situation, and my bad. Okay, now that Adley's here, who's next? I'll just read it off the notes so I don't mess it up.
All right, so yes, thank you. Well, I think we should just all say who we think off the cuff, not thinking too much. Your first one that comes to mind.
Are we like assuming this has to be someone good because it could easily be some random scrub?
Someone you're a little excited for. Like it doesn't have to be a top
Debuts.
5 prospect.
Debuts. Not someone that's been around. So don't throw Richie Martin out there because I know that's the most likely. The next big league debut.
Someone you're a little excited for that actually has a chance to be here in
I
a
would think
competitive team.
maybe DL Hall in a month or so.
I thought DL Hall as well.
I have Taran Vavra.
Although he's kind of pitching not bad, but not great. I don't know how much that's factoring in. He's getting his strikeouts. His ERA is 4.5. It's not a very huge sample size, though, so I don't really know how much to read into that and what exactly he needs to accomplish in order to get that call up. But I would peg him as the most likely, unless there is an outfield injury or something, then it would have to be Stowers. But my official answer has got to be DL Hall.
Nice cat you got there.
My cat has entered the chat. Come here, buddy. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, he just kicked me in the face.
Yeah, as I look down the list of Norfolk's roster, the only other like surprise possibility I could think of would be Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I mean, people are like about Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, DL is a much bigger name. I select Taran Vavra because I think the second base position can be kind of up for grabs. You know, you don't know what Urias might be in a couple of years. Same with like whatever Mateo's role is going to be on this team. Vavra at least has more of a shot
Hopefully
than like Jemai Jones did. Right. More of a shot than like Jemai Jones did. Probably more of a shot than like Rylan Bannon does. Guys like that. I think Taran Vavra probably stands out a little bit due to his approach and power ability. Me and Ryan really like Taran Vavra.
You do.
He's back from injury. He's back in Norfolk. A good chance we could see him in the coming weeks. Don't forget about Caden Grenier either, because he's been very hot the last couple of weeks.
I already forgot.
You already forgot.
Yeah, I already forgot about him. You said don't forget about him, and I'm telling you, I already forgot about him.
Oh, okay. 900 OPS last 20 games. That's something for a guy who never played AAA really in any capacity. He's walking at a decent rate. I don't think people are overly excited for him though. AKA what Ryan's telling us.
Yeah. Who are we talking about again?
Okay. Former teammate of Adley Rutschman. You don't want to see that a little bit on a major league diamond?
No, because he's from Las Vegas and he tweeted a lot of shit about the Caps and like loving the Vegas Golden Knights when they were playing each other in the Stanley Cup Finals. So he immediately lost it for me.
Fun fact: Caden Grenier and Joey Rickard went to the same high school.
Who?
All right.
So yeah, me and Brad both got DL, and Josh, you said Vavra.
I did say Vavra.
Sorry, I was getting kicked in the face by a cat right as you said what your name was. I just wanted him to like say hi to the camera, and I held him up like that and like baby Simba'd him, and he just right across my cheek.
Is he gone now?
He just went upstairs.
Okay.
Dickhead.
I think we all would have said Gray Rod if it wasn't for the injury.
Yeah.
Right?
God,
yeah.
We don't need to talk about it.
We'll talk about it later.
We don't have to
He
talk
would be
about
starting in this Cubs series if not for that injury.
We don't have to talk about it at all.
Brad is so right.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
If we are a podcast talking about the Orioles, I'm pretty sure we have to talk about the most substantial Orioles story over the last.
I don't want to talk about it. It makes me sad.
It's okay. You can wait until after the fantasy draft. You have time, buddy.
Yeah.
Just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, since I failed to take us into this topic correctly, can you bring us into the actual next topic that I failed?
Yeah. I think we're starting to have a Cedric Mullins problem.
Oh, really? I didn't think that would be your stance on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the whole like typical sports fan thing that just says, oh, when something doesn't work out, oh, they should have just done the opposite thing. Oh, you know how people are.
There were a lot of people talking about trading him last deadline.
Yeah, and I'm kind of starting to think. I'm not going to say it like, oh, it was stupid not to trade him, but like they probably should have traded him.
I disagree with that. I don't know. Is your point?
I'm
finished?
glad. No, I'm glad you do, because I didn't want this to be one of those discussions where one of us says something, the other two were like, "Yep, I agree totally," and then we move on. I wanted this to actually be a discussion, so I'm glad you disagree. And yeah, man, it's a combination of things for me. The what brought me to this, this revelation here, I guess. One of the things being, he looks lost. A lot of at bats, man. He looks lost. He's getting a little unlucky, but man, he's striking out a ton.
So little truth here though. His strikeout rate is only 0.5% higher than last year.
Well, you can strike out a little more when you're hitting 30 bombs.
Right. His home run percentage was doubled. His walk rate's down 2%. But I mean, you're absolutely right on those points. I just think some of the savant numbers look really good for him. Everything but the actual results on the field actually look good. Like the percentages and stuff like that, like the walk and K rates are essentially the same as last year. I mean, we've seen the power from him this year at times. He's got a lot of doubles so far this year. I mean, he hit those homers really early on. Last 28 games have been a bit of a struggle. His OPS is under 600. But as I said, the savant numbers look really good. They're comparable to last year. They're a little down because the results aren't there, so obviously they're going to be a little worse. But I mean, I'm not as concerned as you guys. I don't know if there's a Cedric Mullins problem. I would call it a Cedric Mullins dilemma, I guess, because I mean, last year may have been a flash in the pan. We don't really know, but a lot of the numbers look good last year. Like it looked like something that was here to stay, and a lot of people took him for that. They just saw him as the expected center fielder for the next 6 years. And I think maybe that might have jumped the gun a little bit, but I mean, it's only been 2 months, which is a decent sample size, but I'm not even close to getting ready to give up on Cedric Mullins, the kind of story this guy put out last year. And I mean, the numbers aren't great, but they aren't atrocious either. I mean, he still put up 1.2 WAR, whatever that means. His OPS plus is still hanging out in the 90s. Definitely things cause for concern in a couple areas, but I think he will bounce back from it, and no need to worry too much about it.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a middle ground here. I definitely would have understood if after last season they sold high and got a haul for him. At the same time, it would have been difficult to expect him to actually repeat what he did last season. But I don't think he's as bad as he is right now. I still have the mindset when he comes up to the plate. This is like one of our better hitters on the team. He's struggling right now. Good hitters struggle, but he's still one of the top 3 or 4 batters that I would like to have up at any given time. Like I don't look at him as like, oh fuck, Chris Owings or oh fuck, Rio Ruiz over the last few years. I still think he's a good player that's struggling right now, but also I will acknowledge he's probably not going to have another high 800s OPS season that he had in 2021, but I still think he's probably a pretty good player. It's kind of hard to tell, though. It's just kind of hard to tell.
I think the difference between this year, what I've seen so far, and last year is that he's not taking the easy base hit. Like he's trying to hit the doubles in the gap or hit it out of the park every time.
That's what gets you paid, man.
Right, but what made him so good last year was how annoying he was to opposing pitchers. He would just loop a little single into center field, and maybe in the 8th inning he'll power a bomb over right field. And that was kind of what made Cedric Mullins so dynamic. He can steal you a base whenever he wants to. He plays great center field defense, and he plays above average defense. There was a bad play last week. You're right.
That man has late career Peyton Manning arm.
Oh, his arm is awful. It's one of the worst I've ever
He
seen.
is not a center fielder. I'm sorry. Austin Hayes should be starting in center field every single day. And I will not waver from that opinion.
I can understand.
I feel like it's more common for corner outfielders to have stronger arms as center fielders, though.
It is, especially in our left field. It's a cavern out there, and Hayes can cover that range still and have he threw out Max Kepler from the corner in that.
Yeah.
On a hop.
I wasn't considering the new dimensions out there.
I mean, Hayes would project as a right fielder ideally because of the arm, but I mean, our left field is literally an abyss. So
Yeah. I don't know. You still didn't change my mind, but
no, and I understand your opinion. It's not wrong by any means. Mine's not necessarily right either. I just think there's too many things that look up for him that don't warrant signs of panic or warrant reason to panic.
I'm not like panicking. I'm not saying like I don't think he's a bad enough player that he needs to be gone from this team, especially. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the grand big picture,
Yeah.
you have this guy who had a 30-30 season, only won in Major League Baseball. He was kind of a nothing prospect. He came out of nowhere. He came up, got demoted all the way back to Double-A after he already made his big league debut. That does not happen unless you are hot garbage fire dog shit, which he was. So, he comes back up. He stops switch hitting. He just hits left-handed, and he just has this insane, some would think, as an anomaly type of season. And then I look at the fact that, yes, this team has a great farm system. Yes, they have a lot going for them. No, they don't need to be trading players, but you have to give consideration to the fact that if there's anything this system is flush with, it's outfielders. You have Austin Hayes, who is a center fielder, who is just playing left field. And you can easily slot him in there without really any lost defensive value. And then you can bring up a Kyle Stowers. You can let Yusniel Diaz get a shot when his hamstring's not torn to pieces. You can, I don't know, maybe you get an outfielder for Cedric and you can slot him in there. I don't know.
If we traded Cedric, I don't
Starting pitching.
Yeah, I don't want it to be for an outfielder unless it's like you can't say no to it.
Throw in guy. I mean, if you'd have traded him last offseason, you probably get 3 or 4 really good prospects for him.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think a lot of people took the stance to, or like they're sitting here wagging their finger in our face like, oh, should have traded him last July. It's just too early for that, man.
Well, not if you ask the Orioles group chat.
True.
But they've never had a rational thought in their lives. So it's to be expected.
What are your thoughts on Colton Cowser's start this year? I mean, it looked like he was someone who maybe be a fast riser, and we could even talk about in the discussion for outfield next year. But
has he been bad?
He's like
below average. Yeah,
760 OPS, a lot of Ks, low batting average,
a lot of walks.
I guess he's walking a good amount. That's why his OPS is not bad, but not what you're looking for out of a top 5 pick in high A ball.
Yeah,
the year after you draft him.
This discussion kind of makes me think like our outfield's maybe not as deep as we thought.
I still think it's deep though, man.
I still think it's very deep as well. But if Mullins were to regress in such a manner that he couldn't play on this team after next year, for example, I mean, your outfield's still filled by any means, but is it good? We don't know necessarily like what Stowers is going to be at the major league level, but Hayes is your only guarantee out there if Mullins is bad. Santander's gone.
Why is he gone? If Mullins is bad, why wouldn't you keep Santander?
He's such good trade bait, man.
Is he though? I mean, what do we get for him? I'm thinking for Santander, you probably get 2 guys that are, he's good trade bait. Is he such good trade bait? I'm thinking you might get 2 guys that are like ranked in the 20 to 30 range.
You're not getting a top 100 for
organization's prospect list.
Certainly not getting a top 100, but I mean, we talked about this in the offseason a little bit where his age just kind of doesn't really line up with the window for this team. And like, I know Mullins is a similar age to him, but like the skill set Santander brings is a bit different. And I just think like a corner outfielder who doesn't have that much versatility and has very inconsistent play, I don't know if that really projects as someone you'd want to keep around when you can trade him now, at least to get something. I mean, OPS plus this year's 110. The outfield debate for the Orioles is incredibly interesting. It's probably one of my favorite ones.
Heston Kjerstad.
Yep. Have heard very little. I think he's playing sim games down in Florida right now, which is, I guess, something that he's on a field, but we
He's
heard that before.
expected to skip the FCL and go to Delmarva
Mhm. He's going to Delmarva next week.
Next
next
week?
week.
Okay.
next week.
Yep.
Okay, I mean that's kind of
I
exciting.
mean, that's what I heard.
Where'd
That's
you
what
hear
I
that?
heard from an unnamed source.
Okay. Understand.
That's what I've heard.
Well, that'll be something to discuss at a later date, I guess.
Yeah. I look forward to discussing the debut of Heston Kjerstad. I really
Yeah.
do.
I do too. Okay. One
haven't
more
forgotten
note
it.
on the
I haven't for-
outfield.
I haven't forgotten about that guy in that Facebook group who has Mike Yastrzemski's cock permanently planted in his mouth. That called Heston Kjerstad a bust already.
Oh, AJ.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. How's Yastrzemski doing this year? I haven't followed him.
He's got like
I
an
don't think
800.
it's been good.
He's got like an 800 OPS.
Oh, really?
Low average. And actually, no, he's hitting for a high average too. But he's
Almost.
31.
That's so weird that Yastrzemski's actually like not bad.
I
The
know.
Giants are running a cheating lab. He has a 138 OPS plus, 850 OPS.
Like he was not like
Anything.
it was nothing. Yeah.
He was the. I always forget the guy's name, Brad. The guy that couldn't get out of the keys.
Oh, Jomar Reyes.
He was the Jomar Reyes of Bowie, dude. He
Yeah.
couldn't get out of AA.
Yeah. Like he's gonna have a statue built in front of Prince George's Stadium.
Yeah.
Called the Yastrzemski Field.
Yeah, man. I mean, he straight up couldn't. He
Man spent part of 5 seasons in AA.
yeah. See,
5? Holy shit. Yeah, he's the guy that nobody would have like known who he was if not for the fact that he's Carl Yastrzemski's grandson.
Yeah.
Grandson, right? Yeah.
Grandson, yeah.
Yep.
How many
And
games
then
do you guys think he
randomly-
played in AA?
Randomly, he's done well for the Giants, I guess you could say.
I don't even want to guess. I just want you to tell me.
251 games at the AA level. He played 309 at AAA.
He
A
was
lot
a
of games in the minor leagues, man.
I mean, it's not like we screwed him over and held him back. He did nothing really to earn a spot.
Yeah.
If there's a
it's
guy,
like, if that guy wasn't so like I told you so about him, I wouldn't care. Like, if you want to be mad that a guy, like, the natural sports fan reaction is to be mad when your team trades a player and then they immediately like play well for that other team. That's the immediate reaction. But what pisses me off about that dude is he does the whole like I told you so thing about it, and like quite literally no one.
his major league OPS over 4 seasons is actually like 100 points higher than any of his most successful minor league or high minor league.
That makes
Performances.
no sense.
I don't understand. Juan Soto was kind of the same way. He wasn't bad in AAA or anything, but just way better in the majors. If there's one guy that should be like an advocate for like minor league rights or something after he retires, it's Mike Yastrzemski.
Mm-hmm.
Dude spent like 9 years on buses.
Which is not going to be far behind because he's 31 years old.
Right. Jesus.
Crazy,
7
man.
years in the minors, 700 games in minor league baseball. And then came to the majors and was good. He better be like an advocate or something, or like a player rep.
837 career OPS.
Yeah.
That's something.
That's something, all right.
It is a thing. That's for sure.
Hmm.
All right, what else we got, guys?
We have the emergence of Austin Hayes in fantasy, and then a couple minor league notes.
I would love to talk about Austin Hayes.
He's amazing, man.
I could talk about Austin Hayes all day.
Too. Austin Hayes is doing what Cedric Mullins did last year. Minus the stolen base part.
Well, he's not going to hit 30 bombs either, but to be fair, they moved the fucking wall back. So that makes it really hard to hit 30 bombs.
Yeah. Austin Hayes' walk rate is almost double what it was last year. close.
He's been a lot of fun to watch. He's one of the reasons you tune in and get excited about watching Orioles baseball, really. I mean,
Both sides of the ball.
yeah.
Dude, he's awesome.
He's an all-star candidate this year. And we kind of said before the season. Well,
Who said it?
I mean, I definitely said my words was I think he could be a poor man's Adam Jones, and I think he's playing probably better than Adam Jones. So,
yeah. I can't wait to find the clip of me saying that as my preseason prediction.
Don't fucking boost yourself, because you said that and we were all like, yeah, sure. Nobody disagreed with you.
No, I know.
Like, if there was a clip of us being like, Josh, you're fucking stupid, what even on earth would make you think something like that could happen? Then yeah, you could talk your shit a little bit. But we were all just like, yeah, Austin Hayes is
Ryan McKenna, like a Ryan McKenna thing.
Yeah.
If McKenna went off.
I could see that. Austin Hayes in 2021 as a left fielder had 4 outfield assists. That was 5th in the AL. Right now, through less than half of the games, he has 4 assists in left field. It's first in the AL.
Dude, he's sick. I was sitting out in left field when he hit his home run on Sunday.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. I mean, I was in the covered sections because my mom was there and she didn't want to be in the sun. But dude, let me tell you, these seats that I picked for us were actually primo seats. They're in the left field covered sections up under the club level area. But they were the 4, you go up, you turn out of the tunnel and you walk up the steps. And there was 4 to the left of the steps. So we had the end seats. We just had the tunnel in front of us. There was nobody sitting in front of us.
Nice.
And because of where the seats were, how they were positioned, we didn't have to stand up for anybody.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I've sat in one of those sections before too, and I will say if you're sitting up towards the front of one, that's cool.
Yes, you
If
have
you're
to
sitting
be. You have
if
to be
you're
in the
sitting
front.
In the back of the covered section, there's not a worse seat in the ballpark.
Yep.
It's like obstructed view on fly balls. You kind of have to watch the TV if you want to see where the ball's going in the air.
Or just watch the outfielders, because you're not going to see anything. I agree with you there. As long as you're in the front of the covered sections, though, it's a great seat. But yeah, like you said, if you're in the back, it's awful.
Worst seats in the park.
Yep. Actually, the worst. Yeah. Because they're the only obstructed view seats in the park, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, Austin Hayes is the shit. I think
follow his Instagram.
Yeah, even better than Austin Hayes is his Instagram, because someone makes these incredibly dope highlight clips for him, and it's just every time I watch him I get hyped up. It's just so awesome. I don't even know. I want to know who's making these videos.
Yeah, you sent me the one today and I was like, man, I can't wait to watch Orioles baseball today, and then they don't play today.
No.
I was hyped though. They're very good little compilations they make for him, but
yeah,
you don't see, we talked about this, you don't see those about Mike Trout.
Because Mike Trout is the least marketed superstar in the world.
Right, but no one knows who Austin Hayes is outside of Baltimore and maybe New York, because they hate him because he's pesky.
Yeah, that's
I feel
true,
Austin
Hayes also isn't the fake quote unquote face of baseball. So
I feel like Austin Hayes' personality would sell in a big market for sure.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, sure. He would. He's fun. He's got all the energy. He likes to celebrate. He doesn't, put his head down and run every time he gets a hit. He's fun. He's fired up, man. I love that. I want more baseball players to be like that.
Yeah,
like Brett Phillips.
Fuck Brett Phillips. He's not good enough to act the way he does.
I know. We talked about this. He's the kind of guy who I would love to watch personality-wise if he was good, but he sucks, and he has not earned the right to act that way.
Brett Phillips is
he's the shit player on a really good team that thinks he's really good because, I mean, yeah, okay, he's a Major League Baseball player on a really good team. I get that, but there's players on dog shit teams that are a lot better than he is the point I'm trying to get at.
Brett
I
Phillips,
think he knows he's bad, but he still acts like that, and that's fine.
Brett
He's
Phillips
not like cocky.
is the coach's son on a little league team. He's there because he's the coach's son, and he's bad, and he knows that nothing he does will get him off of the team. So he just acts like a goddamn clown. That's Brett Phillips.
And they fucking pitch him all the time, and it's always like a story. He gets all this fucking attention for it.
And he
That
gets
is very
rocked.
annoying.
And he gets rocked. People hit rockets off of this dude.
I will say the World Series moment for him was really cool. Like even the flying in the outfield and stuff, that was cool. But that was because we didn't know him yet. And now, like I thought that was it. Like that would be it for Brett Phillips. Like one moment for like a below average player, and then he'd be like never heard of again. Not the case.
Nope. Brett Phillips will haunt all of our nightmares.
Nope.
He just hits us so well. 2 grand slams against us last year.
What did I say in the group chat a couple weeks ago? Am I off base for thinking that the difference between Brett Phillips being awful and slightly less awful is his performance against the Orioles?
Yeah, just like Randy.
Yes. And the other thing I said is, am I off base between thinking the difference between a Randy Arozarena being a pretty good player and just a guy at the big league level is also his performance against the Orioles? And I'm pretty spot on both of them, right?
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yep, agreed.
Josh, I didn't fact check this, but didn't you say he hit like half of his home runs last year against the Orioles?
It wasn't quite 50%, but he hit like a good like 35 to 40% of like his home runs against us. He only had like 17, but he hit like 6 of them against us.
When I was at Adley's debut, I was sitting next to a Rays fan, and when he hit his first home run, I yelled, "Fuck you, Randy, you 30-year-old rookie motherfucker." And he wasn't really happy about it. I think he was only unhappy about it because his kid was there. And I yelled fuck a couple times, but it was fun. It made me feel better.
Rays fans aren't convicted enough and know their players well enough to like actually go to bat for them, you know, because they trade them after like 3 years.
Yeah, they don't know their roster any better than any other Major League Baseball fan does because it changes so often.
Yep. It's sad, and I hope we don't become that. Anyway.
Nah, they won't. They won't do that.
I hope not, but Michael Elias did say a lot of things about like we want to model ourselves after the Rays and such.
He didn't say that.
He said something like that, to the effect of that on a broadcast. I think I brought it up on this podcast.
He said something. He said there's aspects that he would like to emulate. There's a big difference. There's a lot of things.
I'd have to find the direct quote, but it's just a little spooky to think about that. I don't like that, but
I'm not spooked.
I'll criticize that when it gets here.
I'm not spooked by wanting to model after the Rays. That the Rays don't have enough money. I mean, we should be able to pay our players more than the Rays. That I don't think that means. I think he means from a developmental standpoint.
Yeah,
that's the good aspect that I like.
I mean, yeah, we all want to be the Dodgers, who are the Yankees and Rays combined. But not everybody can have nice things like that. Still, they've only won 1 World Series in my life, so somehow. I don't know.
Rays have run 0.
I'm talking about the Dodgers. Yeah.
No, I know.
Right. Rays have won 0. They've been to 2. But, I mean, they're a consistent contender. And the way to win World Series, there's a lot of luck that goes into the MLB playoffs. Make the playoffs a lot, and at some point you win.
Yep.
There's no way you can possibly construct your roster and say this team is going to win the World Series. What you can do is maximize your roster to win a lot of games and make the playoffs a lot, and then hope they get hot in the postseason at some point. That's what I feel like a lot of fans don't realize. That's the job of a GM. The GM's not going to win you a World Series. The GM can put you in position to win the World Series.
Yep.
But the GM's not the one's going to get the job done or not.
All the Lakers fans that come to bat for the Dodgers, like when they lost against the Nationals in the NLCS, like who don't know baseball at all, like didn't get that. And like the blow up on social media was really funny because like they don't understand that. Just, oh, good team should win World Series.
A lot of people, I mean, the average sports fan doesn't understand that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we see it a lot within our own fan base.
Yeah.
A lot.
Very much.
Well,
Yeah.
it makes a little bit more sense within our own fan base, considering how long we've been dog shit for the most part. But they don't understand the rebuild. That's what they don't understand. They don't understand the process we're going through.
No, they do. They understand it. They just think that when they're tired of it, it should be over. That's all
Fair
it
enough.
is. They're like,
Boys
I'm
ready?
tired of it now. It's time for us to be good. I'm ready for us to be good. And it just doesn't work like that. So then they get pissy.
I mean, to an extent, I kind of feel that way at times, but I also know that we're not making the playoffs this year.
No.
But I do have the opinion that, like, pretty much my only complaint, I shouldn't say my only complaint about Elias. I fucking love what he's done with the farm system. I do think he moves along prospects too slowly. I don't think that's necessary. I think the precedent's been set by other teams across the league that you can call guys up younger and they'll do absolutely fine if they're a big time player and they show that they're dominating the minors.
It's weird. He like,
I feel like he's too conservative.
it's to me, he's only conservative with promoting players to the big leagues. Because he seems to be very quick to send guys up to the next level in the minors when they put together a nice stretch.
Yeah,
And then
one good
it's-
month is all it takes to.
Yeah, and
get
then they
promoted.
just no matter. It just seems like once they get to AAA, it's just like log jams. It's very odd. I don't quite know the reasoning behind it.
I mean, Ryan, I had you look at the Norfolk roster before we started on here, and like, if for those listening, if you haven't gone on there, I don't know what transactions they're going to make tomorrow. They're going to make something, but if you go on there right now, it's the infielders take up the entire page. We have 4 catchers on the roster. Like it's hilarious. Like all the outfielders are like borderline major league
Hold
ready
on.
players. It's
Hold on.
hilarious.
Hold on.
Okay.
Could this be it for my boy Bannon?
I don't think so. We'll talk about this later though when we
Dude.
talk about the columns.
Dude, you could do a split squad game with the Norfolk Tides right now.
Like actually,
They have 4 catchers, 2 backup catchers per. They have 10 infielders, 4 infielders per with
Why
one
the fuck are
one-
they carrying Anthony
one bench
Van Boom?
with one bench, one
Really?
bench infielder, and then they have 6 outfielders. So
and Richie Martin can double as an
if
outfielder.
if an outfielder went down, you might be in a little bit of a pickle, but you can do 2 whole lineups.
It's ridiculous.
With-
No one pitches.
Are
For
there
the
not
Tides.
rules on, like, I mean, there has to be. I don't know what the roster rule is on how many you can carry.
2 in both the infielders and the outfielders are on the 7-day IL currently.
Yeah, and a catcher as well.
Yeah. Brett Cumberland.
So you're counting guys that are on the IL.
I'm just counting the whole roster.
Okay.
Regardless of how many guys are on the IL, it's a fucking gigantic roster right now. There is, let's see, 1, 2,
I think outfield's the only place you have a
4,
problem
5.
if you don't use IL players.
There's 23 pitchers on this roster.
What are they doing down there?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Something's gonna happen tomorrow, though. We'll talk about it later. You boys ready for fantasy?
Sure.
Okay.
Readier than ever.
I'll start, I guess. Brad's stats for the week, 2.5 weeks. So we use the same rosters from May 19th. Brad had Prieto, Zimmerman, Billy Cook, and Pat Dorian. Prieto got you 31.86. He had a pretty decent stretch. It was an okay stretch. His OPS is still under like 700. Bruce Zimmerman got you a whole 8 points, giving up 9 home runs over the stretch. Billy Cook had a tough week, a couple weeks as well, 8.6 points, and Dorian, same story, 6.2.
I tell you guys what my strategy is, and then I go against it, and it epically fails. I say that I want to take good players who are not hitting well at the time. And
Didn't work
instead,
this
I
time.
did the exact opposite.
Dorian gave you 2 homers. That was nice, and then the
He gave me
strikeouts
2?
killed it. Yeah, the strikeouts
Okay.
knocked it down. Your total was 54.68 though.
Oof.
That's like a normal week point total.
All right. All right, who's going next? Am I giving Ryan's now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan had Creed Willems. He sucked ass. He went 3 for 20. He didn't have any walks or hit by. No, he had one hit by pitch in there, but he ended up getting like 2. He got 2 points on the week.
Woo!
Horrible OPS. Very few total bases, no steals, no RBIs, 5 Ks. Yeah, he didn't do shit. Jordan Westburg did pretty well. He went 12 for 34, 17 total bases, 7 RBIs, 7 runs, 1 steal, 6 RBIs, 5 combined walks hit by pitches. Did have 10 Ks in there, but it was a lot of at bats. 36.36 points. Robert Newstrom got a few more points than I thought when I looked at his stat line initially. He went 5 for 30 with 8 total bases. He had quite a few walks in there as well. So he ended up at 26.91. The relief pitcher pick paid off. Vespi. Only 5 1/3 innings pitched, but he had 4 Ks, only had 2 walks, no earned runs, and he got a win. 17.33 points.
Nice.
Shit.
So your total comes to 82.6.
Taking minor league relievers kind of works out because they get so much action and they're always in positions to win.
There's no reason Vespi should still be in the minors, by the way, on that.
He's in the majors now.
Yeah.
He pitched yesterday, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, he's back up?
They brought him back, the other day.
Okay, I
Mhm.
totally missed that. All right.
Yeah.
My apologies. We'll cut that out, but not really.
I'm not editing that out.
No.
I know you're not. That's why I said, but not really.
So I'm getting really sick of this shit. I'm getting really sick of Josh. Just sick of it all. Josh had easily the best fantasy week since we started this shit, which I think
It's
I
the
said
law
it.
of averages. He hasn't won yet.
I've won this year.
Yeah, he's won most of the time.
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Last year I didn't win nothing until the last.
You
week.
won. I'm sorry. I was thinking you hadn't won yet this year. And you have.
No, I won the first 2.
I apologize to
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh's family, but I don't apologize to Josh.
Absolutely don't apologize to him. So I'm not reading out every little statistic like you did, Brad. I'm just gonna round it all up together. Gunnar Henderson, John Rhodes, Grayson Rodriguez, Trey Mancini was Josh's team for this past 2.5 weeks. John Rhodes had 0 points because he has not played since May 18th. He's literally not played in a game since Josh took him. So he gets a whopping 0 points. So Josh only got points from 3 of his 4 players. But those 3 players combined to get him 176.4 points.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
Gunnar Henderson, 55.5. Grayson Rodriguez, 58.2.
Ooh, for a pitcher.
Trey Mancini, 62.7. So
Good week. It was an okay
good
week.
job, Josh. I hate you, but good job.
Ryan, when are you gonna get a win in here?
Probably never. Again, it's a law of averages. I dominated both of you last year, so like
Very true.
now I just can't win shit.
Wasn't even close last year.
Nope. I couldn't lose. Even when I took meme players, I still won.
This is true.
Did you say meme players?
Yeah, just like joke players, like you know.
Yeah, we all took joke players though, especially when you had to pick from like shitty ass Delmarva lineup.
No, the FCL lineups.
I love that meme.
I cannot believe we did that. Still, I'm gonna bring it up every week, but I can't believe it. Lamar Sparks I picked at one point. Who picks first? The winner.
I mean, the concept was fun. It was just the calculations.
Right. Yeah, it was terrible, and we made you do all of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I kind of volunteered, so.
That's true. The winner goes first.
Yes, Josh, you
Okay,
know
I'm
that the
just-
winner
hey,
goes first.
Hey, it's been a couple weeks.
Take your
Okay.
fucking picks and stop rubbing it in.
I'm thinking Ryan Mountcastle. He's back.
Wrong.
He's hot.
Yeah. He hit a 430-foot bomb oppo yesterday.
That was an impressive hit.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Oh man. Oh shit balls. I do no prep for these in case you guys couldn't tell. I just pick them on the fly.
I write out 12 names.
Yeah, I know you do. You take this shit way too seriously.
Just prepping. I don't want to be sitting here like you going.
Yeah. Austin Hayes.
Okay. Applying the logic that I said I was going to apply, good hitter who's not hitting well. I'm taking Adley.
That
Good
could end
pick.
up being a Galaxy brain pick.
It probably will be. Who knows? I will take Kobe Mayo. Good hitter who hasn't been hitting that well.
Yep. I'm gonna go with. We keep saying he's gonna stop hitting and he just hasn't. So I'm gonna hope he continues to hit and take Gunnar Henderson.
Yep. At the new level.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a rare move and take a second Orioles player right here. Good hitter, not hitting well. Cedric Mullins. There we go.
Okay. Brad's going full in on this one. I'm going to take my pitcher. See, we got some friends of the pod that I had written down to take, but I think I'm going to go Kevin Smith.
Okay.
I will take your cue with friend of the pod and take our buddy Drew Rom.
Call. He's back.
Yeah.
Had a decent start last week, I think.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then on that note, I'm going to take a friend of the pod, Zach Peak.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh,
All right. Love it. I'm gonna piss Ryan off. I was considering this pick already, but then Ryan behaved the way he did. I'm gonna take Caden Grenier.
your very existence pisses me off, Josh.
All right.
Hey Ryan.
Ryan, you were up.
Oh, I think I lost you guys for a second. I was playing with my headphone wire. Shit.
Yeah, I was making it buzz.
Sorry.
Better be.
I need a. Oh no, I took my picture. Give me. Oh shit! What's his name? I forgot his name. I know. Oh, Daryl Hernandez. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I know
Very
who I'm
good.
trying to take, but I couldn't remember his name.
He's been very good at Aberdeen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Colton Cowser.
Good hitter who's due.
I hope
Okay.
he's a good hitter.
Teams are Ryan with Austin Hayes, Gunnar Henderson, Drew Rom, Darrell Hernandez, Brad with Adley, Mullins, Peak, and Cowser. I have Mountcastle, Mayo, Smith, Grenier. Okay. We'll be back next week, actually. Not going to go 2.5.
We actually will be.
Promise. Brad, we haven't let you take in a topic in yet. You want to go into the next one?
What? Just MILB recaps?
No, actually, we had the Gunner.
Somebody doesn't
West-
have the notes open.
No, he does
I do
not.
now. I do now. I mean, that kind of falls in the same category, but yeah. Since I was the one to send it to the group chat today, that officially means I'm the one who broke the news.
Right.
I'll take credit for it.
I
Brad
mean,
won't know how
you
to
probably
first.
knew about it before Rock did. So
Yep.
Yours was
Brad
the
won't.
first like place I saw it too. You sent it to.
Yep. So Gunnar Henderson and Jordan Westberg called up to AAA today. So Henderson absolutely fucking lighting the world on fire, except when he faces a left-handed pitcher, then he drools all over himself. But not a huge sample size, but enough that there's a little bit of cause for concern. 34 at-bats. His OPS against righties is like 1.192 or something.
Yeah, he's
stupid.
smashing them.
It's just crazy. And the games that I've been to, even his outs are barreled up. Like he barrels up everything. It's just sometimes it goes right at people. It's fucking insane. But yeah, Westberg, he had gone through a stretch where it looked like he was lost, and we got a little concerned about him. He has an 817 OPS, so he's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why we were so like, Jordan Westberg's not having that good of a year. He's having a great year.
Yeah, he seems to have figured it out.
So I don't know what Gunner's OPS is over the last 7 days. 7 days.
Go for it.
1.37 or 1.357. That's nuts.
Yeah. It's like
That's-
it's like decent softball numbers right there.
Yeah, more walks than strikeouts this year.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly deserving in the AAA column. I don't really have a lot to say about it. Like, it's just cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more you can say about it than that.
No,
It's
just cool.
noteworthy. It's news.
Right.
We'll see how they do. Mondays it's such a shitty day, and it has nothing to do with it being the start of the work week. I hate there being no minor league baseball on Mondays these days.
I know, dude.
It kills me.
Well, the Orioles are off today too.
With the Orioles being off too. Ugh.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't play softball on Mondays or anything. So yeah, good thing we're podcasting on Mondays now.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that actually is a good thing.
Ryan, it's time to talk about the no topic.
Oh no.
I mean, what the fuck is there to say? He's got a grade 2 lat strain. He's probably not going to pitch again this year. What do we need to talk about?
We just got to mention it. It's like the biggest news in O's
All
baseball.
right, well, there
this
we
year.
go. We just mentioned it. Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, it really fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't think people really care to hear our deliberations about how much it fucking sucks that our top prospect pitcher, who was this fucking close to making his debut, is now probably not going to pitch again this year.
He probably needed to throw about 20 more pitches.
Nobody is coming here for our nuanced topic on how much our nuanced take on how much it sucks.
He probably needed to throw about 20 more pitches, and then he would have been in the big leagues.
He was literally a start away, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not even a full start. I'm pretty sure he was 20 pitches away.
We've seen enough.
He was into the 6th inning. Even Elias was like, "Oh yeah, the timing really stinks on this," and kind of hinting towards he was about to get the call. He was on track to have his second consecutive scoreless start. ERA in the low 2s, insane strikeout numbers. His pitch count had been expanded. Yeah, I think he was probably 20 pitches away. Just needed to be healthy, and we would have seen him probably starting against the Cubs the next 2 days. But it was not meant to be. Another comment by Elias that I found interesting. He said maybe we'll see him in September, but that's not the interesting part. He said there's a strong chance that he'll be on the opening day roster next year. Okay. I mean, I think he should be.
I would hope so.
I think it's reasonable to expect that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just worried it seems like they would be like, oh, well, now we got to build him back up again. Like, I guess you can do that in spring training, though.
I'm going to make the joke again. I can't believe Grayson Rodriguez is going to be forced to have a Tommy John surgery right before his call-up. That he doesn't need.
It wasn't funny when you made it in the pre-show, and it's still not funny, Josh.
Brad laughed, and that's all I needed.
Courtesy
laugh.
Laugh.
Yep. So you didn't feel dumb for making that joke on this show.
Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
I hope you still feel dumb.
A little bit. Only because you told me to. Brad, take us in the minor leagues.
All right. So before I get into the individual player coverage, I should point out that it looks like the playoff procedures have been released for minor league baseball, and low A through double A. It's going by first half, second half standings. So the Bay Sox aren't going to win the first half. The Shorebirds are absolutely not going to win the first half. Aberdeen probably is. They're actually probably not too far off from clinching because they're 6.5 games up, and they're maybe 18 games or so away from the end of the first half of the season. So they got a solid shot at winning that division and getting in. So that would be cool. Granted, most of those players will probably be up at Bowie by second half of the season. So maybe they'll win the second half for the Bay Sox too. How cool would that be? But anyway, I'll start with the Tides. DL Hall has been getting some play. He's building his innings up a little bit too. We're all disappointed about Gray Rod, but now we can turn our attention to Hall. Strikeout numbers are really good. His ERA is kind of so-so, but he's been expanding that pitch count up, and he's still mowing guys down. I think he really just kind of had 1 or 2 starts where he got hit around a little bit to get his ERA up to 4 or 5. So that's the main guy we want to keep an eye on there in AAA. I do have to express some disappointment in my guy Bannon. He's been kind of dog shit lately, but he's a streaky guy, so hopefully the good Bannon will show up soon. I'll always remain hopeful on that. Kyle Stowers, he's tearing it up. He's got a 918 OPS, and he's a guy who would be in the big leagues probably if it weren't for the fact that it's just kind of a logjam and there's not a place for him at the moment, really, until somebody either gets hurt or we trade Santander. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. That's pretty much all we need to talk about as far as
Hayden Grenier.
Okay, yeah, Caden Grenier. Yeah, he's done well over the last couple of weeks. I don't really buy into him being much of a hitter. They drafted him with a 30-something overall pick on the premise of him not being known for his hitting, because he's a good glove. I don't think you should ever draft a guy that high who's quote unquote not known for his hitting.
That was a tough Duquette pick. I'm actually going to see what MLB Pipeline had him as for that draft projection and see what we actually took him at.
The biggest disappointments are definitely Bauman. He's really kind of fallen off. He's getting hit around. Lowther, same thing. Blaine Knight, same thing. I mean, those are guys that you kind of wanted to see something out of. Cody Sedlock made his major league debut, but I kind of gave up hope on him in the last couple of years when he kept getting shut down due to arm troubles. There was a brief stretch in 2019 where it looked like he might have figured it out, and then he just kept getting injured, and it was always his arm. So that was kind of the telltale sign that Cody Sedlock's probably not going to be any part of the future plans. But hey, good for him. He got to set foot on a big league ball field. But we will see Gunnar. We will see Westberg, as mentioned, debuting for Norfolk tomorrow night. As far as the Bay Sox go, they just lost their two best players. But they do have Cesar Prieto. He's batting .295 so far, kind of a small sample size, low OPS, 690 OPS, but we'll see. I mean, you can't really read much into that. It's been a week or two. Drew Rom, friend of the pod, he just recently returned. He just threw 4 innings, only gave up 1 earned run and 3 strikeouts his last time out. Zach Peak had a pretty good start too. He came back off the IL and dropped his ERA from the high 4s down to the high 3s in one start. So keep up the good work, Zach. As far as that goes, the rest of their lineups really kind of been disappointing. Joey Ortiz, not really doing shit. Hudson Haskins still has an 809 OPS, but that's mostly carried by a really strong start. Not really anybody else worth talking about.
Yeah, he's like treading water.
Yeah, JD Mundy kind of sucks. There's not really anybody else in there. As far as Aberdeen goes, they've still got that exciting lineup. A lot of guys that are worth following. Although Calzer has been disappointing, which we've hit on. Disappointing. He's got a 759 OPS. So if he gets hot, then, all it takes is one good week for us to look and say, maybe Calzer's not doing that bad. Taron Vavra did just start rehabbing down there as well. So he'll probably be up in AAA soon. Kobe Mayo, 764 OPS. TT Bowens, 816. Daryl Hernandez just got the call up. Dante Williams, he's dropped off hitting wise too, 719. But the most noteworthy thing about the Ironbirds is they just steal a fuck ton of bases. They've got some decent bats and they've got a lot of speed. It'll be interesting to see how a lot of these guys progress as they go through the minors. So, And then down to Delmarva, really the only guy that's entertaining to look out for there. Carter Baumler, finally, after us being able to sign him as like a 5th round pick in 2020, one of the benefits of taking Heston Kjerstad under slot, we got to sign guys like Carter Baumler and Kobe Mayo. And Baumler had Tommy John surgery right after he got drafted, so he finally debuted. Much long-awaited debut. Of course, Kjerstad still hasn't fucking debuted either. But we're hopeful. It's, by the sounds of it, that could be next week. But Baumler does have 6 scoreless with 9 Ks, so keep an eye on that. Hopefully that goes well.
And that's pretty much the noteworthy shit to talk about with the minors.
2018, Caden Grenier was the 68th ranked prospect. We took him at number 37.
And the scouting report on him is he's not
a bad first guy.
Not a bad first guy. You don't take a guy with a pick that high that's not known for his bat. I mean, who gives a fuck if he can field routine ground balls? They all can. They all can. This is in high school where if the shortstop, could potentially have a 500 fielding percentage, this is the big leagues where all of them can play just fine.
Yep.
For the most part. Yeah, it's good to have good defense, but give me someone who can hit.
Well, thank you for the minor league update, Brad.
Yeah, man. Let's go Ironbirds. Let's lock up that playoff berth, baby.
Do you go to all the games, like any local playoff teams? Or as many as you can, I guess.
Well, I went to quite a few of the Bay Sox playoff games the last 2 times that they made it. If the Ironbirds make it, I'm sure I'll be up there. I go to more Bay Sox games, I would say, than Ironbirds, but I've also been playing softball in Harford County on Wednesday nights, which is about 10 minutes from where the Ironbirds play. So there's been a couple times where they've been home and I've been up there, and my game's done at 8:00. I'll just swing by the ballpark and check out the last few innings and maybe get a couple signed baseballs.
So, well, that's all we got for today, boys.
Yep.
It's a good episode. Good to be back.
Yep.
Very much.
We went on and on with that one. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Longer ones, I felt like.
we tend to do that.
An hour and a half. Sorry for those listening. If you made it this far, thanks.
Yep.
Well, we hope you make it this far.
Bullshitting about
would too.
golf and whatnot.
Yeah. I hope we don't lose people. Oh, well.
Welcome.
Yep. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We're going to see you all next week. As per the usual, follow the podcast account at Podcast Birdie. Follow Josh at Out of State O's. Follow Brad at KU Brad Wandell. And follow me at RyanSet094, all on Twitter. Thanks for sticking around, y'all. And we'll see you next week.